get out of the house. They're going to graduate from college. They're going to be on their own. Immediately, they are dropping out of your taxes. And your income is going up. Your tax liability is going to go up. Because all those exceptions you are still enjoying now, you are no more going to enjoy them. You have to know that. So you have to be proactive about that. Or if your income is going up, some people tell me, are we not going to work? I say, we are here to work. But you can adjust it. If you adjust it, and a lot of people, they do that. Like I said, I have a lot of people I'm working for. Yes. Okay. So I work for them, and, they're making good money, but they did this thing right, and, they are getting money back. So, taxation. I want to talk about 401k. A lot of people, 401k, they have it at their job, but they don't sign up for 401k. You know that when we started, we talked about goal, we talked about, your credit score, we talked about, taxation. We are talking about 401k. That's another means of saving money. If you are new to America, or you are not new, and you have a job, and they have a 401k, go and sign up. A 401k is a retirement account in which they are taking some money from your paycheck, and they are mashing it up for you. And they invest it for you. And you don't take it until 59 and a half, unless there are some circumstances. But it's a retirement account. But the point I'm making here is that your employer, they are going to mash it up. If you don't sign for a 401k, they're not going to mash anything up. So you got to make sure you do that, okay? When I retire from Walmart, I have 401k. And I look at my 401k account, I was having about more than 200,000 there. I know it's going to be that. But that is not where I'm going. I now went back and look at how much I contributed for the 16 years I worked there. I only contributed 80,000. You get what I'm saying? I put in 80,000, I got 200,000. There's no bank you are going to put that money in, and you are going to get that, okay? Then lastly, what I'm going to talk about is going to be buying a home. If you have the capability to buy a home, and you have not bought, go. Bought a house, and you have an interest rate, be monitoring it. If you are blessed to pay extra money on it, you can put some money on it to add to it. Because what happens is that people believe that, in America, you are going to pay your mortgage throughout your lifetime. No. So, God forbid, if I die today, I'm not going to die today. I know that. And you leave $100,000 for one child, it's going to be praying for you even when you are in heaven. Within 3 years, those kids, they are telling me, Dad, even your house in Nigeria, whatever, go sell it and use your money. We don't need your house because you are empowering them. And the house I bought for $150,000, that I put $70,000 down, 3 years ago is $240,000 right now. I checked it last night. Within 3 years. You get what I'm saying? Go and check your mortgages. I know you have. Go and check your account. You know that it has gone up. But let's assume that you are still paying rent. So guys, today,
Wow, so much was discussed today, and I hope you learned a lot because I did. But we can leave 2 minutes for questions and session, and he'll also answer those questions that you may have. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sarah, for the knowledge. I just have a little question on the W4 form. You mentioned that on this form, it's different, tax laws are different from like the normal common law. So I just want you to explain a little bit more how you said even on your tax forms you can feel single even when you're married.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's a very good question. What I mean that, when you are planning for your tax, you actually go. Don't forget, when I started, I said you must have a goal. Your goal is that every year you want to be getting money back. So, on this form, you say, I'm single. What they are going to do, if you say you are married, the amount they're going to be withholding, they assume that your husband is going to join you on your tax. But when you say you are single, they're going to assume that you are going to file by yourself in court. So when you actually file with your husband, you are going to get more money back. So strategically, you have already saved money through that. Is that okay? Okay.
Thank you very much.
Worked for just about 18 years, and I retired in corporate America. And I was making 6 digits. It's not that I was making 20,000. My I'll be 60. I don't want to be waking up 7 o'clock to go to any job. Making that money, I was sending them to go and work for me. I talk about 4 properties in Nigeria. You're going to look at properties in Nigeria. It's not just what you have here, but then when you build house in Nigeria, there's no mortgage. So when I go to Nigeria, I only have 100. Money is there. All my family I'm taking care of. I don't use my dollar money. Or 1K, you can still, open an IRA account. You see, the issue is that a lot of people, the way money comes in America, it's not going to be one day you see 100,000 over time. You see, that 401k or IRA, I call it wish, a journey, because the way they invest it and what they match on it is compounded. Every year, the dividend you get from those companies, what your company is matching, and also the growth is also going back to your principal. So multiplying at the geometry. You get what I'm saying? So, and that is what I gave you an example. Whenever I'm talking like this, I don't just talk theory. I give example of what has happened to me. I give example of what has happened to people that I have grew. They are doing great. You see? So over time, you put your money on 401k, you have a home, you have if you have an IRA, that's fine. If you want to, you have a little property in Nigeria, that is plus for you. If you want to buy money, you want to invest your money on a stock, that is good, but you must get an extra to put. Don't go on cryptocurrency for now. Somebody told me recently, which Warren Buffett said is a scam, and that is the most successful in America. Warren Buffett. Be very careful with that. There is no historical statement or record to show that it's going to make it. Unlike 401k or stock, over 200 years, they look at it and they say, on the average, even forget what is going on right now, on the average, you're going to be making 8 to 10% every year growth. Every year. So you can never lose. If for now, is 12%. In Nigeria, it's 17.5. In South Africa, it's 14.6. So even here, we are still blessed. So, but don't worry about what is going on about inflation. Continue to put your money.
We're going to invite our second presenter. We're going to invite our deacon in the house, Deacon Osagona Cueva. Is the marketing director of Wall Financial Group, financial advisor and project manager with over 15 years of helping families plan their finances. His areas of specialization includes life and health insurance, long-term child education funding, retirement planning, estate and legacy planning. So let's welcome our deacon, Deacon Cueva. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shirley. Thank you. I'm going to do it the way we do it here. Praise the Lord. Amen. 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 It's always good to be here, and I thank you and thank the women for this opportunity. Like I said, I think we should be doing more of this. And Brother Larry, I want to thank you very much. You've been a source of support and help to this ministry. I think I have 15 minutes, so I'm just going to be a little bit fast about it. So I'm here with you maybe after this, and you have some questions. So, yeah, okay. Hopefully she would like what I do here. She will invite me back to do it again. So what we are going to be talking about is going to tie in directly to what Brother Larry just talked about. And Sister Krista, hopefully at the end of the day, we'll have some options on how to, what to do. Because tax is a problem. Most people that are working for paycheck will hardly make it. If you want to be financially independent, you have to do something that will what people do is find a way different things, do things that will let you write off some things at the end of the year. So that is one thing. People buy and invest, so don't go into what you are not passionate about. Something that you don't like. Because people are doing it, don't be probably going to thank you. That is not what we want. Okay? Thank you very much. My name, like I said, is Osagona. I'm the director with Group. Okay. World Financial Group, what we do is go meet family doing here, talk and give you insight into things that you should be doing that will help your financial situation. And like Brother Larry said, one of the things that people deal with is not how much they make, it's what they have left at the end of the day. And if you look at the chart that we have there, there is a circle there, the one that talks about the expenses, debt, and taxes. So that oval shape that you look represents what you make. So at the end of the day, maybe about 50% of it goes into your expenses, paying your rent or whatever you do. Maybe another 25% of it go into your debt, paying your credit card and other things that you may have to take care of. At the end of the day, it depends on where your income is, your taxes on other things. By the time you compare you add your income tax and other tax that you pay, it may come to about 25% or even less. So the question is, what do I have at the end of the day? If I'm talking of saving, something that I'll fall back on. If all these things is being consumed by what I have, so saving has to be deliberate. It has to be deliberate. Where people run into problem is they go with the flow. This is what they give me, this is what it is, and like somebody puts 00 in your W4, and with the return, something that you are paying back at the end of the year, then you're crying. The more money you hand, the more money people have in their hand, the more impulse they have to spend. So if you manage that and say, okay, I'm going to be deliberate about it, it might hurt. You might not be able to buy that car, that clothes, or that shoes that you want. But at the end of the day, you're going to have something like, so you have to be deliberate about saving. You have to be deliberate. All right? And some of the things that people lack, why they don't make this right decision is they don't have the right information. And that's what we are doing here. They don't have the right information. Yes, I may have the desire to do it, but do I know what to do? Now, I want to be okay, I want to be able to save at the end of the day, but where do I put it? So look for where you can get that kind of financial education, which is part of what we're doing here. For me, I'm very big in that. I'm ready to sit down with you and tell you things that you should do and have a strategy. You have a knowledge, you have understanding of what to do, then where do I want to be? Then say in 2 years' time, what is my goal? What is my strategy? I want to see my child through school, through college, debt-free. How am I going to do that? That may be a wish. If you just have a wish and you don't have a plan on how to bring it on, it's just a wish. It's going to die there. Have a strategy and have somebody that knows, work with you on that. Then have income, have some passive income. That's where doing things that can give you money at the end of the day comes in. Some passive income, something that whether you are there or you are not there, it's generating money. You do it once, a little bit. It might take you some effort today, but tomorrow you'll get something back from it. Can we go to the next slide there? All right, next one. All right, next. Just put everything, okay. All right, for us, WFG, these are some of the things that we use some of the solutions that we bring to people. If you ask me now, I say, okay, Deacon, what do I do? I will sit down with you, look at your financial situation, and look at these companies. There are about 180 of them that we can work with. Depend on your situation. Your situation might be, okay, I need to save more on taxes. We'll find a way, working with this company. Some may say, okay, I want to be able to see my child through college. We'll find a way to do it. Some will say, okay, I want to increase my credit score. I want to be able to put some money aside and be able to pay my bills on time so that at the end of the day, when I'm ready to pay for that house, I'm ready to take off that mortgage, I have a good credit score. We have all these companies that we can work with. All right, next slide, please. All right, then now our solutions, what do we do? If we sit down with you, as our faces differ, so our needs are. If you sit down with two people, what they need is going to be different. One, the priority for somebody might be saving on taxes, whereas the priority for the other person is to plan for retirement. All right? So it's not like a one size cookie, one size fits all. No, that is not what it is. It's not a cookie cutter thing. So you sit down and we individualize your solution. What your idea is, what you can do if some people they are thinking, okay, I have this money. If something happened to me today, what become of my estate? What become of people that I'm leaving behind? Or is it, okay, I'm afraid I'm making this money. Yes, my children, my family, they are living a very comfortable life. But what if something happened to me? So we look at all those spectrum, whether it's protection, investment, retirement, college planning for kids. We have a solution working with those companies that we put up before that we can bring up and help to use and use to help the family. Next slide, Martins. Yeah, just go on. Okay, these are some of the things that I've listed in my own my profile, what I do. If it's life insurance, long-term care insurance, that's one thing that is a big problem. It's a ticking time bomb, especially with the baby boom and retiring. It's going to be a strain on the system, and it is already. So it's something that we should be thinking about, long-term care. People say, okay, I have money, my children. Thank God for we Africans. Yes, we always fall back on our children. But our children, they are getting influenced by the society here that I'm not going to be able to tell Desmond, you cannot go to California, you must stay in Ohio to take care of me. If he wants to go, he gets opportunity there, he's gone. So what plan do I have that tomorrow I'm not going to be stuck at home, or the government is telling me, oh, before we take care of you, that house that you have to sell it. There's the term they use for it. You look at your house and they say you spend it down. They call it spend down. You spend it down to the level that you are eligible, because this program that people think will take care of them is designed to take care of people that don't have. So if you have, the government is going to force you to give it away to be eligible. So why you can now have a plan to take care of yourself? Have a plan to take care of yourself. It's easy, it's cheap if you start early. You don't wait to get in a car wreck before you go look for insurance. It doesn't work that way. You buy the insurance before you get in a wreck. So if you think we are all going to need it, you're going to get old, is our prayer. We are people of faith, we pray to get old. I get old, somebody's going to take care of me. Who is that person? Some people say the government. Okay, what if you have more than what the government would need before they take care of you? They're going to take it from you before they take care of you. All right, so that is one thing that we look at different types of annuity that we do. 401k and pension plan, we advise people on that. If your company, if your employer is matching and you are not doing it, you are leaving money on the table. That's free money that you are just giving away. That's what Brother Larry said. It's free money. They say you put 4% down, we match it, we give you 4%, and you say, no, I'm not going to do it because I want to have extra. It's money you are leaving on the table. All right? So, and we talk about the different types of fund, mutual fund, IRA, Roth IRA, that will help with your taxes. People say, well, I put this money in. 401k IRA, they are deferred plan. What it is helps on your taxes now. When you get it out at the end, you pay taxes on it. But if you are looking at say, well, I just want to put it there and not get anything out of it and not be taxed at the end, then there's a rough option, and we can educate you on that. Estate planning. Okay, by the grace of God, God has blessed me. I have some money. Now, if something happened to me, the government is going to come and say, okay, Desmond and so on, before you come into this, there is a tax that you are supposed to pay. They call it estate tax. And sometimes it might be substantial. It might be some money that the children or the beneficiary will have to come up with before they do it. So there are people that go into it and say, well, we'll buy it for you. We'll take part of your estate to give you this money to be able to pay the estate, and so that you get this money, you come into your inheritance. But while you are here now, can you plan for that? Can you plan for that? Can you have a plan to make sure that is not a burden on the children? And that is just letting them have it. We know how things tear family apart. Oh, this is heirloom. My mom owned it. I'm supposed to get this. Oh, I'm supposed to get the house. Before you know his siblings, they are at each other's throat. So can you sit down and do a simple will while you are here and say, okay, this is how to do it? And some people even say about trust. Will and trust, do you know the difference? Do you know the advantage of having one over the other? Do you know what will work better for your own situation? Those are the kind of education that we bring and the kind of information that we give to people. Next slide, madam. All right, and this is what we call the S-curve. Go to the next slide. Let's quickly go to the next slide. I know I'm running out of time here. The next one, yeah, just go on. Okay, here. Yeah, this is the S-curve. And what this is depicting or showing us is the path that we all will go through. We start young on the left-hand side, and we end up old on the right-hand side. And the way it is, when you look at the left-hand side, when we are young, where we are now, we are strong, we can do 2 jobs, we can run from one place to another. Your employer can call you and say, okay, go to Alaska and spend 3 months there. We'll give you 50% of what you are supposed to. You don't have problem doing that. You can do that. But at that time, when you're doing that, that is the same time you have a lot of responsibility. Children are in college. You are paying mortgage. You are paying car notes. And for some of us that we call the sandwich generation, you have old parents that you are taking care of. And it's calling you every month, I need money to eat and stuff like that. So while you may be making a lot of money, the responsibility is equally high. And at the end of the day, you don't have anything left over. And what determines how comfortable you are is not how much you make, remember, is what you have to fall back on if you need that money. So with all these expenses, you don't have that cushion that you will fall back on. So what happens? You are very, very, at that point, we are very, very insecure. If something happened to you, you bought a house, you are paying a mortgage, your children are living in a good school district, you are the breadwinner, you are the one that you're doing, you don't have anything in reserve. Something happened today. What become of that plan? What become of those children? Are they going to go back to the inner city? Are they going to go back to an apartment complex? Are they going to be happy with that kind of life? So there, generally, what we advise is, okay, get some form of protection. Transfer that risk that if something happened to you, somebody will step in and say, okay, the kind of lifestyle you want your children to live, the kind of school you want them to go, somebody will step in and say, I will take care of that. And nobody is going to do it, no freelance. Nobody is going to say, do it and it'll be free. No, they will say, okay, give me something in exchange. You pay me a premium and I will take care of this risk when it happens. So get something to protect that in case it happens. And the other thing that we look at is, okay, we are looking at the issue of if something happens, what if, God forbid, the person is involved in a car wreck and he ends up not dying, but he's coming back from the hospital, he's coming in a wheelchair. He needs somebody to take care of him now. All right? The wife or the husband, the spouse, the partner is not going to leave him to go make the money. So there also we say, okay, is there something that can take care of you if that happens? Long-term care that we are talking about, that we talked about, comes into play there. We talked about that. On the right side, hopefully we are able to live and we are able to do this thing right, and we have a lot of money saved, a lot of money put away. But there, like Brother Larry said, it's a progressive tax. The more you have, the more the government taxes you. Whether now, or when you spend the money, or if you are lucky enough and you are able to accumulate the money, when you die and you leave it, they will still tax it. So do you have a plan to make sure that before the children come into this, there's a plan that they're not going to be running from one end to the other, looking for how to pay the estate tax before they come into this benefit that you are leaving for them. But generally, when we get old, health issues set in. So do you have a plan in place to take care of that, to make sure you manage that? So this is maybe when we meet next time, we're going to spend some more time on this, and this is something that everybody should be looking at. Next slide, Martin. Next slide, just go on next. Okay, this is a financial foundation. We look at it, and generally, when you look at, for those of us that have, for the people that have an idea of what stability is, if you look at it, if you were to put these two triangles, you were to stabilize them, make them stand, which one will stand more? Which one has the potential to stand? I would say the one that has a broader base, the one that the base is green, that is standing upright. All right? And that is how your financial situation is supposed to be. You want to set up a system that is stable, that is not going to trip easily. And there is a step, there is a way, there is a system to it. All right? It should start with protection. Then, after protection, before you talk of saving or putting money aside, then before you talk of lifestyle and investment. But what do people do today? We see them, they turn the triangle upside down. I'm living in an apartment, there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm able to pay my rent, there's nothing wrong with that. I have $250 left at the end of the month. I'm looking for where to put it. I'm looking for where to turn it, to flip it, to put it around and get return. All right? And tomorrow something happened to me, then the children and everybody that is depending on me are in trouble. And this is somebody that does not have a simple term insurance. All right? And you see them, oh, okay, my children have to conform. They go to school, everybody is wearing a $150 Jordan. My child has to conform. So I'm able to pay my rent. I have this. Instead of me looking for something, where to put that money in case something happened to me tomorrow, or that money is not coming in tomorrow, this child is not going to starve, or this child is able to go to school, but I will take that money and go and buy the Jordan shoe. Lifestyle, instead of building it the way it's supposed to be. All right? Next slide, Martins. All right, now we are talking about, clip it through. Let's have everything on. So we look at it here. We also advise people. This is where we're talking about what do we do? Where is the money? Where is the money? Is it only in my paycheck? Is it only when I go, I clock in, I get money? Are there options for me to grow my money? Are there options? So we talked about and we educate people on different types of options. There are people that say, well, go into investment or go to what I do, get licensed. I'm a geologist, I'm a project manager. Everybody knows what I do here, but that does not stop me from doing this. Simple 1 week, sit down, take my license, take my life and health license, and I'm able to do this. And I can go anywhere in the country and do it. It does not stop me from being the kind of life I want to live, do what I want to do. So find a way to bring more money. And once you have that idea that I'm going to make more money, what does it take? Getting licensed that we talked about. Let people know what you do. If Sister Shola didn't know what I do, I won't be here. Maybe I talk, I do this, I go around. Myself and Brother Mike, we used to go around. I go around. People from New York call me and say, oh, this is what I'm thinking about. I sit in the comfort of my house, especially with COVID. I do it, and at the end of the day, I look at my bank account, some money is coming in. All right? Find a way to do it. Then have a system. Have a system, not just you doing it. Is there a system that will help you to do this? Those are the things that we should be looking at. Next slide, Martins. Okay, let's just move on. Move on to the next one. Let's move on to the next one. And that is it. So I'm going to leave some time for questions and see what we have here. So she gave me 5 minutes. I wanted to use my 5 minutes for questions, and that's why we moved to the end. So let's hear it. All right? Any question? If none, I can go back and reclaim my 5 minutes. I have more slides I didn't talk about. I will use it if you let me. All right? Question. All right. Yes, Sister Kemi.
It might be a simple question, but what is the difference between a life insurance and a long-term insurance?
Life insurance and a long-term care?
Care, yeah,
Okay.
that one.
Okay. Life insurance, depending on the type that it is to pay if something happens, if the insured dies. It's transferring the risk that if I die, I'm not here, somebody should pay to take care of the things that I feel are important to me. So I'm gone, the mortgage has to be paid, the children have to go to school. That is the simple life insurance. There are variations of it. The people use it for different things, put money in it, get it out at retirements, use it to save money, and different things. But that's the simple term of life insurance. You pay the insurance company for an exchange, taking the risk of something happening to you. When that happens, they pay you. They pay the people that you say they should take care of. Long-term care is, the doctors say, well, there are, for the health professional, there are what they call activities of daily living. There are 6 of them. Able to pay, toileting, transfer, and there are about 6 of them. And the doctors say, well, you cannot do 2 of those 6. Then you say, okay, my lifestyle every year, every month, I need $3,500 to survive. So you call the insurance company and say, okay, when it comes to that time that the doctor say I cannot perform 2 of these things, I want to be able to get that my $3,500 that I spent to be able to take care of myself. They will say, before you get there, we need you to be paying us little things. The doctor will give you that paper and you go to them and say, okay, this is what it is. I can no longer do this. I want to leave. The fact that I can no longer pay myself. The insurance company is going to look at that and say, okay, we have long-term care for you. Every month, we are going to be writing you a check. There are different types. Indemnity, possible. Go into that when we go into detail. There are some that will just write you the check you spend. There are some that will say, okay, before we write you the check, we want to see how you spend the money. You send them, write you a check to reimburse you for what you have spent. For what you spent. So some people do it for 5 years, some people do it for 10 years. How much you want to pay. But it's always there to take care of you. Life insurance is to pay when the person is gone. Right? Any other question? No. Okay.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Sorry, Deacon. I know. For most of us that are still not convinced about how life insurance works, people think it's only when you die you gain from your death benefit. But while you're alive, you definitely see the purpose, you see the value of that life insurance that you're paying in.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's a cash value life insurance that you don't have to die to pay. You put the money in and there's excess interest that accrue to the account. You are alive, you want your money, you go to the bank, you go to the insurance company, say, give me my money, they give you your money. They either give it to you as withdrawal, or sometimes you want to manage your taxes, they'll give it to you as loan. You know, it's like borrowing from your 401k. You take it from your account, you pay it back, it's there when you need it. If you don't pay it back, it's your money. So it's time for us to go into it. Hopefully when we see, yeah. Bless you. Thank you very much, and thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Deacon Cueva. That was so much knowledge. Please stay with us because we may have more questions at the end, and we're hoping you will be here to answer those questions too. Thank you. All right. I know we are not tired. Are we tired? Praise the Lord, everyone. Are we all awake? I know we are. I know we are. So we're going to go into the next presentation. The next presenter is Mr. Max Poe. He's an experienced private client banker who has had years of experience with JP Morgan Chase Bank, some knowledge, and feed us. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. The wind's got us. Thank you all so much for having me today. Gosh, two fantastic presentations, so thank you for sharing all of that with us. I came in today kind of focusing on, one thing being saving for our children. It's a really, really powerful thing, something that really hits home for me. My wife and I just had our first little one in November, so she's 7 months old and learning to crawl and all that fun stuff going on right now. And when I think back to my experience in education and what kind of, dividends, we talk about investing money, saving money, and hoping for a better future for ourselves and our families for generations, right? And it's one of the most difficult things to do. One of the biggest problems that we come across in life is, how do I save enough for myself to not be a burden on my family in the future? But how do I also take care of the young ones that are the next generation and make sure they can get the education that they need? I passed out these papers, and there's all kinds of statistics, and I can kind of go through a few numbers here, but one important thing to think about is the return on necessarily think that that's the case. I'm a first-generational college student myself. My parents, my father's a factory worker, has been his entire life. My mom was a paralegal in a small looking back, I think I actually feel like I was